season has already been better than anybody thought, probably, other than maybe Kobe Altman and the team. What do you think the Cavs have to do to make this a quote-unquote successful season? What makes this year a success for this team?
You're exactly right. First of all, I think if people had asked us that question at the beginning of the year, everybody would have answered the 10th seed is a successful seed in the Eastern Conference. But now they've really given us a taste of things that could be, and so you want them to finish there in the top six. I think if they finish with 6th seed at a minimum, the lowest, that would be a successful season. I think even the 7th seed getting into the first round of the playoffs, if they are in the play-in tournament, to win that tournament and get a 7th, 8th seed and get a taste of the playoffs. We have to remember that they're so young in terms of their core, in terms of their quote-unquote big three of Garland and Mobley and Allen. Those three guys are still very young, and those are the three guys you're building around, not to mention Colin Sexton, who you assume is going to be back next. So there's really a lot more to come, and we can't put too much into what happens this year. I talked to one GM who randomly just said, the next best thing to winning a championship is a regular season full of fun. And that's really what they've given their fans this year and given the franchise and a bright future. So to me, to be able to continue some semblance of what they've been doing this far and, battle for a playoff spot, make a respectable showing while in the playoffs. You don't have to win a series. Just give a respectable showing and get a taste of things that might be to come and show that you're ready to take those next natural steps of, winning a first-round series and then winning a second-round series and then getting to the finals and winning a title. All of those things, if they can continue to show, which is what they've shown so far, if they continue to do what they're doing, to me, that's a successful season, regardless of what happens in the playoffs. No one is expecting them to get to the finals this year, and it's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't win a first-round series, because they've really shown that good things are still to come, and there's plenty of time for all of that.
Yeah, the one thing I would say, and we've seen enough NBA basketball to know, playoffs are different. So I really want this young core to kind of get the experience of a full 5 or 7 game series. And I think that will be hugely important to the growth of this group together. They need to get in and see what it's like, because that's just going to make them work harder to get back.
Yeah, the playoff basketball is a different style of basketball than regular season. It's more physical. A lot of times the lineups are a little bit tighter, the rotation. Instead of playing 9, 10 guys like you do during the regular season, you're playing 7 or 8. Every little injury is, magnified, and the refs let more things go. So the more games you play, you're exactly right, Dave, the more games you play, the better it is as part of the learning process. And, I remember way back in 1985, I just have a story on the website about it, when the Cavs started 2-19 and got into the playoffs anyway and played Larry Bird's Celtics down to the wire. In fact, they lost. Back then, the series were 5 games, best of 5, and they lost in 4 games, those Cavs. But the final score of the series, when you totaled up everybody's points, was tied. So if they can get in there and kind of this year's team kind of experience something like that, it really will give you a lot of hope for the future. And I think they're already there in terms of hope for the future, but just a lot of good experience when it comes to learning how to close out and win playoff games. They've learned how to do it in the regular season. Now they get to try to do it in the playoffs, we assume, within the next couple of months here.